Namaskaram. 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 Thank you, Professor Banu, and my friend who made this happen here because he heard me by mistake in some program. And I must invite Sakshi, who also joined here today. I was lucky to be part of Swami Vivekananda's programs for a long time. We have one of the greatest centers for youth development in Hyderabad, under Ramakrishna Math. That's the center of city. It's a twin city, Hyderabad and Secunderabad. So to cross what's called a tank bund. That was made by Vishwesvaraya, the great engineer of India, right? And below the tank bund, there is a beautiful place. If you come to Hyderabad, don't miss that place. There is a beautiful center which is called the Vivekananda Institute for Human Excellence. And I was teaching there almost 10 years. Part-time, morning and evening. I'll go there and teach in the morning, go to my office, finish my office, come to the ashram and teach there in the evening. Semester covered millions of youth. And there is a huge rush. It's only 100 rupees for students to register. And it's a 1-week program. And that 1-week program, you get books worth probably more than 100 rupees. So lectures are free. And a lot of students, we're all engineering students, medical students. And what do we give? We give courses like communication skill, personality development, power of positive thinking, many different courses, which are all soft skill and life skill, which are known later. Those days it was not there, soft skill was not a catchy word, right? So I started in the early 1990s, as soon as I joined my office in Hyderabad as a scientist. So Professor Banu was asking how I am interested in philosophy. I think whichever field you are in this world, when you get the highest degree which university gives, not the highest of the highest, right? That's all doctors. All of us are doctors, right? The doctor is doctor of philosophy. So definitely either you do maths or physics or chemistry, ultimately it goes to philosophy. Right? So why you are connected to philosophy is not a good question. And we all keep chanting Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva, Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Ajnana Timirandasya. Next line, many people who don't know the word, right? Ajnana Timirandasya. Ajnana is Ajnana Timirandasya, Nananjana Shalakaya, Chakshurumididam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So who gives me that vision? And that vision is philosophy. The most famous philosopher of today's world around us is Bhagavan Krishna, right? And he had a weapon that's called Sudarshana. So what is Sudarshana? That is philosophy. Darshanam is philosophy. Sudarshanam is the best philosophy. The philosophy can never be bad. So it is best philosophy. I taught Bhagavad Gita at least 4 or 5 times. One in United Nations Yoga community where I am a part of that. And now I am teaching in Malayalam, which is crossing almost 1 lakh of audience in 1 week. First time in my mother tongue I am teaching. Earlier I did in English only. English have less acceptance probably. Another reason why Vivekananda is, or maybe philosophy, we know philosophy is related to Vivekananda. Vivekananda is philosophy. The Raja Yoga is philosophy. And Raja Yoga owned by Patanjali but ended or marketed by Swami Vivekananda. My student is here, we were discussing about Vivekananda, and then the relationship between Vivekananda as the most best automobile in this world today. Which is the most best automobile in this world? Anybody? He revolutionized the automobile. He revolutionized the space systems in the world. Tesla. Correct? So Tesla met Vivekananda. No? Who is Tesla?
Nikola Tesla.
Who is Nikola Tesla?
He was a scientist.
Do you know that Swami Vivekananda met him at the age of 30 and influenced Tesla for his inventions? You know this? 2 times he met. Once he met in exactly 30 years. So when is Vivekananda's date of birth? 12th January 1863. Correct? 1893, 30 years. He met Tesla. And Tesla and he had lot of discussions, and that influenced Tesla's research in physics. Later again we met them together when Tara,
96.
one French actress, invited. There was a dance program, art program, and in which Vivekananda was sitting in front to see that program, and after that she called for a dinner program in which Tesla was also invited. So they again met, 2 times they met. The age of 30 and age of 33. And do you know that the best institute of India for science, IISc, Indian Institute of Science, you know who started Indian Institute of Science? Tata. And who triggered Tata to start that? Again Swami Vivekananda. I'll tell why philosophy is related to Swami Vivekananda, related to science only today because of that question. Right? That's called a Tata Institute, where Tata and Vivekananda was traveling together in a ship. And Vivekananda asked Tata, why are you traveling? He said, we want to make steel and the technology is not in India. And Swami Vivekananda asked, why couldn't you start the technology? Then he said, we don't have that science. Then he asked, why couldn't you start the science university? And that is how, and he was very close to Maharaja of Mysore. He requested Maharaja of Mysore to give land. That is why it came to Bangalore. Because he had a lot of influence on Maharaja of Mysore. He said, give land, asked Tata to start the institute. And do you know that Swami Vivekananda got an invitation to be the director of Tata Institute? Not a scientist, not a science graduate. A philosopher got an invitation to become director of Tata Institute. So you can imagine how influential was Swami Vivekananda. Physically strong. He used to swim in the river. Which river? Hubli River, originally starting from the place is called the river which starts Bhagirathi river. And you know there is a proverb which says anybody who does an extra effort to do anything, which is called Bhagirata Prayatnam. Prayatnam is the effort. That is a so rough river, and he used to jump and swim. So he was a great swimmer. Another proof, he came to Kanyakumari, where we have a Vivekananda rock now. Came to Kanyakumari, jumped into the sea and swam to the rock. There were a lot of people waiting. When is he going to come? It took 3 days for him to come back. And none of them could go and venture to see what he is doing there because the sea was so rough. And he could swim in that rough sea. And after 3 days when he came back, people asked, what are you doing? I was searching solution for India's problems. I was giving prescriptions for the disease of India. What a great man. Physically strong. That is why most of his quotations are physically very, very strong. Emotionally very strong. Attached to India most. He said, excuse me, you will get India. I don't think anybody would have told her like this, right? You want to know India? Come to me. I will teach you. No. Excuse me, you will get India's knowledge. That's what he said. And India's quotations were great. I know, in north part and to whole India, Ramdev is very famous, who is into medical and yoga and all that, right? We have a beautiful lady who was an editor for Ramdev, also edited my poetries. in 20 years back. And her PhD was Swami Vivekananda's quotations and the poetical aspect of it. Why people remember Swami Vivekananda? She was mentioning Swami Vivekananda's quote, right? Why people remember? Because it's more poetical. There is poetry inside his quotes. He knows how to use the words so perfectly so that it matches, it makes similes sometimes, he catches nice words. Vocabulary was fantastic. Swami Vivekananda's English was fantastic. Do you know this? He was walking on the American street, somebody put his turban. Why are you wearing this? Was the question which they had. They're all hippies. And he turned back and asked, why gentlemen, why are you putting my turban? They could never expect somebody in that dress on a street will speak such a fabulous English. And yes, we never thought you were such a cultured man. The answer was, in your land, tailor makes a gentleman. In our land, culture makes a gentleman. Just to people. He knows how to speak to people. He knows how to use words. So poetical, so intellectual, so social. He was never invited to speak in the Parliament of Religions. Do you know that? He just went. Before that, he gave a lecture that was in Hyderabad. In the center of Hyderabad, there is a college. It's owned by a Muslim now, but the hall is still called Swami Vivekananda's Hall because he gave the first lecture. As the lecture was over, Nizam offered him the travel expenses. He said, no, I'll take it later. I already have. Because he was sponsored by a king from Khetri. Yeah, that's it. He sponsored most of his travels and looked after him well. And as he reached, his lecture was fabulous, fantastic, but he had stage fear because that was the first international. His name was 6th. He said, no, put it little later. 17th, no, little later. He went and requested the anchoring person, put it at the end, but next day's newspaper covered only one man's name. Chicago, that's a beautiful place. We visited there. She took me there. Beautiful place. And Swami Vivekananda, Chinmaya, who is famous for the Bhagavad Gita, my Guru Swami Rama from Himalayan tradition, and another Guru of who is part of the yoga community in UN, Swami Bhuva. All of them were in Chicago. So Chicago is a place where probably Indian spirituality, Indian philosophy was taken to the world. He stayed there, though went for how many minutes lecture? The first lecture in Chicago. Listen that, fabulous English. How many minutes lecture? 0. It's less than 4 minutes. Including the introduction, 4 minutes, 30 seconds or something. And that changed the vision of what India is when Westerners were looking at India in a different style. And he stayed there and he got a lot of letters. No WhatsApp to them. Got a lot of letters. And he was staying in somebody's house. People he was young, handsome, beautiful language, great philosophy. Many people wrote letters. You know what letters it could be. Right? And the place where he was staying, that lady said, I will answer. He said, no, you cannot answer love letters coming to me. So he was answering all the letters, staying at late night. And so great man, no? He made relationships so fast, and some lady came and asked him, I want to marry you because I want to have a child looking like you, so handsome. He said, yeah, wonderful, intelligent, spiritual like you. He said, no guarantee that I can produce a child like that, but I can guarantee that you will get a child. Ma, today onwards you are my mother. That's how he responded. So without marrying also you can get a child. So that is how he looked at relationships. Last 2 days also he used to get big books and he just opens and then reads. Everything is, you can ask questions. He could grab. So intellectually strong, socially strong, physically strong, emotionally balanced, and spiritually the highest. So five-fold development. So I think what is that youth need to learn from Swami Vivekananda is be strong physically. If you follow Swami Vivekananda, you cannot say that I am tired, I cannot do, I am weak, I am sick, I have headache, I have tummy pain. No. You have to be strong like Swami Vivekananda. Right? And emotionally balanced. And presence of mind. What a great presence of mind. You know, it's not Ramakrishna who used to test. Who is Ramakrishna's wife? Sharada. So everywhere you will see Ramakrishna, Sharada, Vivekananda pictures together. Correct? Sharada used to test him. Knife, this is the sharp edge. And when Sharada will ask, go and get me that knife, Vivekananda gives the knife like this only. Not like this. Got it? The holding the handle is normally this is how we offer. Swami Vivekananda offers like this only. Because you have to be more comfortable than me in holding the. Sharada says, yeah, now you are more mature, right? What a beautiful way of teaching. How to deal with the people. He was so blessed that he had only 6 years with the Guru. I always keep asking a question, who is great? Ramakrishna is great or Vivekananda is great? Who is great? Ramakrishna is great because he made a student, right? But Ramakrishna would not have known to all of us if Vivekananda was not there to make Ramakrishna Math. Vivekananda could have made in his name, but he didn't do that. He made it. So Guru is great or Shishya is great? Ramakrishna is still great, teachers are still great because Vivekananda could not make another Vivekananda. Understood? So who is always great? Guru is always great. It's easy to get one student probably, but not that easy to get the chain moving. That is why we say Sadashiva Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmat Acharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parambara. I was so lucky that I had Guru who loved me so much. Now I realize I could not pay back that love to him. Taught so much, but I couldn't do much for him. So how do we connect? Make students to learn as much as you can. So that is why I left my job from the Prime Minister's office, from the scientist. I decided to go around. Whatever blessings or teaching which we had has to go to people. Keep traveling. I can go on and on, but I think I should not do that.
So you can
I will not.
no such.
I will only speak if you have some questions. Because if lectures have to be given, there are more than thousands of YouTubes. DrTPS, you just type philosophy itself, you will listen a lot of things. We had, just now I was mentioning, I was very close to Butsap, who was supposed to be the father of modern Indian philosophy in India, right? So I traveled together, stayed with him. We were in Arunachalam, Ramana Maharshi's place, 10 days together. We were planning to start a institute there. I was made as director there, but I didn't continue. I said I am not qualified for that. Though others thought that I am qualified, I felt I am not qualified for that. Because once you become, I left offices because I don't want to get tied up in one place. I am a wandering person, right? Other day I was in Mount Abu. We were just mentioning why Mount Abu is great. That's a place where the first Vasishtha did his penance and then Yatna Yaga Karmas, right? So seeing place, walking around, going around is what I'm doing. So that freedom I have. So I'm not talking from textbooks, I'm talking from what I'm learning around by traveling. I was in Ahmedabad last 2 days, then Mount Abu, then Jodhpur. Yeah, Jodhpur also I learned a great thing. You know, the great commission of University Grants Commission, where I was part of the university to teach teachers. The professor's teacher was that position I had at the University Grants Commission, Director for Academic Staff College. Teaching teachers was my job. And we all talk about the Kothari Commission. Correct? One of the best modernization of Indian education. Who started UGC? They're all part of UGC. You get a certificate, right? University Grants Commission. Tell me, who is the person who started UGC? There is a NIT in his name. That's in Bhopal. I'll give you clues. It's like a quiz competition. You need clues, right? Manit is the name. Maulana Azad. Understood? Maulana Azad started. Do you know that he never got educated formally? A man who started formal education in India was never formally educated. He was only home education. Homeschooling was what was his qualification. And he started University Grants Commission, and that best method was for modernization of that was done by somebody who is postgraduate from Cambridge, great physics man, a scientist, not an education man. And that education man is, and there was a road which was Kotari Road in Jodhpur. Then he asked, why Kotari's road? Who is this Kotari? He started searching and found that it is Kotari Commission who made Kotari, and he was the professor of physics. Professor of physics, who was great man who started many DRDO institutions in India. Name all the DRDO institutions in India, all started by Kotari. And he was part of the revolution in education. The latest new education policy was also headed by a scientist from Space Department. So physics, he also is from physics, right? I was hearing physics. Though I am from mathematics, my PhD is in fluid mechanics, which is close to physics. I published my papers in chemical engineering. So I'm also a chemist. And I learned a lot of physiology and etc. because blood flow is full of physics. So I teach biology and doctors how the blood flows in the arteries. And I'm a psychotherapist where we have to learn the biochemistry and all that in psychology. MS, when we do MS in psychology, we have to learn all that. All these are connected because it's all knowledge. And Indian spirituality is totally connected with the knowledge. That is why we keep chanting Atnana Timirandasya. Not having knowledge is like Timiram. Timiram is cataract. What a great heritage we have. Not having knowledge is like cataract, and Nananjana Shalakaya, apply that kajal to give eyesight. That means cataract was treated in India by using kajal once upon a time. Now today we need surgery, right? Correct? So our Vedic knowledge was strong, and that Vedic knowledge in Upanishad was much with a lot of questions and answers. It becomes stronger when a lot of questions are there. Bhagavad Gita is not made by Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is made by Arjuna. If Arjuna did not ask questions, it would have been over by one sentence, fight the war. No, a lot of questions came. So it's questions which makes knowledge. So that is the beauty of Indian philosophy. That is the beauty of philosophy. People will ask a lot of questions. The simplest thing, you ask a lot of questions and make it most complicated. So simple to complication is philosophy. So I wish I get some difficult questions to answer. Yeah. Ask.
Sir, when we...
No, sir. We are still 1947, British or Indian. No, sir. DrTPS. Let us get out of this, sir, madam, all this business. We still teach worst part in the LKG onwards. We are being taught madam, sir. No. Yeah.
Dr. Sashi Kumar, my question to you was, whenever we hear of Vivekananda ji, we only hear of his passive side, mostly, like in the sense of universal religion or peace among religions. But sir, could you enlighten us more about his right to protection of dharma and his views about those things?
See, it is not different. What is spirituality is what is Sanatana Dharma. What do Sanatana Dharma say? Sanatana Dharma talks about being materialistically strong. Why do we go to temple? When you have difficulty in exams. Have you seen PK movie, right? Everybody approaches God to make money, get some benefits, get promotion, so that you prosper in your life. Swami Vivekananda was very strong in making people to become stronger in materialistic life. He was not against it. Because Bharatiya Shastram always supports being materially stronger. Otherwise, you don't see God and goddesses with a lot of ornaments, no? All of them are showing that you should also make money, you should also become rich, you should have fancy life and all that. And second one, you should also have what you can give to others. That the first part is called the Ishtakarma. Ishtakarma is for my ishtam, my happiness. Purta karma is what makes it full. Purtam is full. So Ishta Purtam is Sanatana Dharma. But what it says is, Ishtate labate surgam purte moksham avapniya. You do Ishta karma, you get surga. You do Purta karma, you get salvation, moksha. Which one do you want? Bharatiya Shastram talks about giving ultimate release from all these places, bliss, not happiness. You want a temporary job or a permanent job? You want temporary happiness or permanent happiness? That's the question. If you want permanent happiness, that's called bliss. Temporary happiness is, so it is given by both. So if you look at philosophy, it's very simple, but the ways and means in which people realize it is through different religions, because the path is different. So Swami Vivekananda was never against any religion. Me too. My last meeting when Sakshi also attended, we were all there here to celebrate one of the saints from Kerala who completed 100 years of the first religious meet in India. And that happened in Kerala. We were celebrating it in Delhi. And now the next one is going to happen in Chennai, which Prime Minister is going to attend. And the fourth one, for all the science chairman. And the third one is going to be in UK. And where this is happening in a church. Are you getting? In the Cambridge University purposes. I did a program in, I taught Bhagavad Gita in America in a church. So is it not interreligious program? So you could say bridge to Indiana. The place is called Indiana. So I said India to Indiana. The bridge to Indiana was the program wherein you can see the priest is sitting, I am sitting, and we are discussing about all the Bhagavad Gita and all the different aspects of religions and all that. So it's not different. Swami Vivekananda, we are different because I traveling most of the Gulf countries. I finished all the Gulf countries. You can see Kuwait, DrTPS, Bahrain, DrTPS, Saudi Arabia, DrTPS. You will see at least a few lectures there. I keep saying, in India we have got sun as the God. That is what we do. All the Yajna Yaga is symbolized with the sun, and that's why fire is given. Suryaya Swaha, Suryaya Dannamma, Prajapade Swaha, Prajapade Dannamma. That's how we chant mantra. Can you say in Surya is great when a country where there is full of hot sun all the time? So what do? They look at the moon and say moon is our finished. That's only difference. Understood? So when sun is hot, you should take the reflection and take moon. So it's not different. It's one and the same. It's only reflections, mirror. So Shankara also said, it's always mirror. Manam darpana samanam. Manas is like a mirror. I mirror it in different styles, different places. It's all part of one. Once you understand that, that is Brahma. Hridaya guhara madhye kevalam Brahma matra. Inside my Hridaya there is a Brahma who is the god of research, invention. And his wife is Saraswati, who is the goddess of knowledge. Where knowledge is, the research comes. Where research is, the knowledge comes. Where knowledge is, the question comes. When question is there, somebody will give you answer. So it's not different, it's one and the same. Finding the answer different ways, different means. That's all this.
So,
Good. No sir again.
okay.
Love you. Love you yourself. Do this.
Guruji, like the theme of our event is the perennial youthful charm of philosophy.
Did I talk about it?
No, I just want to
No,
ask.
did I cover that portion? Yeah, good.
So, when it comes to philosophy, like we are celebrating it, the youthful charm of philosophy, when it comes to youth, being a youth, I can like tell you that we are more inclined towards taking experience of a thing. We're not inclined to study and just follow it up. Like you said, the philosophy for a youth should come from experience or by reading the books only. Because as we see Vivekananda, he used to read loads of books. And when it comes to youth, youth is not inclined towards reading the books and following the things. It's more about experiencing the things and then like accepting them. So when it comes to philosophy, when it comes to youth, the youth will get the knowledge, the youth will get their philosophy from experiencing or like from reading only. So what's the
Who is the best teacher in the world? Who is your best teacher? Whenever you have some problem, where do you look at?
parents?
No, I don't think. Parents are less educated than me. See, I keep saying, see, my grandfather was much better person than me. My kids are much better than me. I learned so many things from my student. They learn so much from the Google. Who is the best teacher in the world? Google, yeah. ChatGPT, right? Gemini. So many things are there in this world. I am sure Vivekananda would have used all the gadgets if he was alive today. Correct? So nothing wrong. You don't have to go to the old library where a lot of lakhs. I recently went to Calcutta to see the archives of old newspapers. It's nice, good to see that. But don't ask questions to your grandfather. Because we have much more knowledge documented. I am the person who started first digital library in India, in my office. And digital library was mine in Hyderabad, where all the maps were. Now what you see Google Map, I made 40 years back in my department. So you have to be digitally strong, nothing wrong. So youth are in the right path. But only problem is you don't have questions. You know what is most best engineering in the world today? Prompt engineering. What is it? Never heard? Google it. Ask ChatGPT, which is the best engineering in the world. It will tell you it's prompt engineering. What is it? Prompt engineering. Our problem is when we ask question, Google will use 30,000 answers. Which is the right one? Because you don't know how to ask questions. Right? So what you should learn is how to ask questions. And that is our old philosophy. We had Tarka Shastram in which how to ask questions, you get best answers. Why Bhagavad Gita is teaching how to ask questions. You end one chapter, the next chapter starts with a question which is related to the first chapter. Got it? So asking question is what is missing today. Because in our education today, I have authored 4 books on early childhood education. I'm also chairman and chancellor for early childhood education programs in India, in which what we do is children, what is that word used by teachers in the KG classrooms maximum number of times?
No. Don't do this.
Keep quiet. And what do? They shout. They are not role models. You experience wrong things by looking at them. Got it? So our education starts with the keep quiet, but that's the wrong thing which we are doing. Classes are not to deliver lectures. Classes are to interact with the questions. I was teaching in engineering college. We had a beautiful program. She coordinated my program called Creativity to the Power of Infinity. 1,200 BTech students in Hyderabad. I was paid that day 1 lakh. So when he was paid 2,000 rupees, he was saying, I said, go ahead, you give it to some attendant, no? Or maybe the driver. 10 years back, 2010, half day lecture was 1,20,000 rupees. Collected 100 rupees per head. 1,200 people attended. The title was Creativity to the Power of Infinity. And everybody was ready for listening to me. I said, I have nothing to say because already the PowerPoint was posted. People started looking at it. They had a lot of questions. I said, all the questions you give it here, I will select and then start answering. And it went for 3-4 hours only answering questions. So today nobody needs lectures. You understood? You should have questions. And that is how you should change. So today's youth have got a lot of questions. But what to ask comes from the prompt engineer. Good presence of mind, asking right questions in the right place, put it in the right form. Sure, you get a lot of answers from everywhere in the world. Let it be anything. What is lacking today is no questions. I must have seen millions of teachers, millions of students, millions of public looking for good questions. Thank you. That was a great question. That was also a great question. I don't evaluate by blah blah blah. I evaluate the college by the number of good questions they ask. Classes should be full of questions. So you change. Don't allow anybody to speak. I know all this. So what is to be done? You know the syllabus which the teachers are going to teach, right? You can also read and study. Why they read and then come and blah blah blah. I know already what is there in the textbook. I know. I will ask you questions. So prepare questions and come. That's what is to be done. Then class becomes so real class. Correct? That's what is to be done. Yeah.
My question is, how did Swami Vivekananda's interpretation of the Vedantic philosophy contribute to the synthesis of spirituality and practical life in India?
No, there is no spirituality in India, in Hyderabad, in Delhi. Spirituality itself is universe. Therefore, all the philosophy of Swami Vivekananda was a universal vision. What is Vedanta? It is the end of Vedas, right? What is Veda? Veda is knowledge. Where is the end of knowledge? In the knowledge itself. See, just now we finished, you should ask questions. You know, how do you ask questions? How did you ask the word question Vedanta came? Because you read something. What is the end of that? That is research. What is research? Getting an answer for that. So it's like a cycle. You start asking questions. That is why Brahma is wedded to Saraswati. Got it? When you have knowledge, there will be question. There will be question, you have knowledge. You cannot answer well. Similarly, we have not even knowledge and Vedanta. Even for materialistic world also, Vishnu is the god of Ishvara of actions. And when you do action, what comes to you? Money comes to you. So who is the wife of Vishnu? Lakshmi. Wherever you do business, you need money. When you do business, you need action. Whenever you do action, money comes. Whenever you action, money comes, action comes. Now who is the other lady? Gayatri, three ladies. Who? Lakshmi, Saraswati, Gauri. What is Gauri? Shakti. What is Shakti? Power, energy. You go to a doctor with the sickness, the first question doctor asks, have you had a sleep yesterday? Slept well. He is half saved. Then I can treat you and make you better. If you are sleepless, that means the problem is much bigger and higher. So what is the god of sleep, samadhi? Shiva. So Shakti is there, Shiva is there, Shiva is there, Shakti is there. What a beautiful combination. Is it related to what happens to here or somewhere else or somewhere else? Everybody is saying no. This is the philosophy. We have relations related to Indian philosophy, Indian Vedanta, Indian system of knowledge, Indian system of spirituality, all are one and the same. And that is Indian science. Got it? It is not that you get a BSc, you become a science, and BA, you become an arts. No. B is important. What is B? In all that common is B. BTech, BCom, BA, BSc, BA. Bachelor. What is bachelor? So you have to be a bachelor first. Are you still a bachelor? Come to HansRaj college, you do campus selection. Many colleges say we have good campus selection. I said I have seen a lot of pairs here and there. They select their pair. That's the campus selection. I am not asking that campus selection. Are you a bachelor still? Yes? No, Brahmacharyam is kept still, right? Brahmacharyam is the knowledge center. Brahmachari is knowledge. Acharya Padamadate, from an Acharya, do 1/4 knowledge. 1/4 knowledge from Acharya. 1/4 by yourself. Acharya Padamadate, Padam Shishya Swametaya, Padam Sa Brahmacharibhya. Discuss with your friends and then ask questions. Ask questions not to your teacher, ask your friends only. Which subject you are learning?
Philosophy.
How many questions you have discussed with your friends for the last, how many years now here?
So I am in second year.
Second year. In 2 years, how many topics you discuss with your friends around? And that is your bachelorship. Your subject of discussion should be only the subject which you are learning. Got it? Not anything else. And then you are a bachelor of philosophy. If you are discussing with your friends about cinema, what is running in the theatre, then you are a bachelor of cinema. If you are discussing what food you have, what is there in the canteen, then you are a bachelor of food. Understood? Bachelor means brahmacharya. My Brahma, my creativity moves in that field. Charanam means movement. Brahmachari means my Brahma moves in that field. Which field it should move? When I am a BTech, my technology is my discussion. Acharyat padam adate, padam shishya samedaya, padam sa brahmacharibhya, padam kalakramenacha. Have you heard this anywhere? This loka? No? Anybody else? All of you heard it. That's my guarantee. You have seen 3 Idiots movie? You heard it. In that podium, somebody was chanting the same sloka. But not like this. They made it in a wrong sense and then chanted. Everybody was laughing like you are laughing now. That is the beauty of cinema. That's how we make movie. Give the podium picture and the audience smiling, laughing, you will also smile and laugh. That sloka was this. Acharya Padamadate. From the Guru, when the teachers, Acharya. Acharya is not Guru. Acharya is much higher. Who practices what he learns is called the Acharya. Seeing somebody you feel, oh, I want to be like him, then he is an Acharya. Not what he teaches, he does. Right? Acharya Padamata. 1/4 knowledge from the Acharya. 1/4 by yourself. You have to read, ask questions by yourself. Then 1/4 by discussing with your friends. 75%. Good enough. That is distinction. Now people get 90% because questions are repeated, answers are same, and if you write, yeah, one half of the spelling is correct, they have to give 50% mark. That's how it is. That's how you are better. So learning knowledge is what is that makes human being human, and that is what Vedanta is. Right? What is most important as a human being? Everyone human being. Why human being? Because we are human. Why social being? We are social. What is the quality of a human being? Ahara nidra bhaya maithuna ni samani chaitani nirnam pashuna. Human being and animal are equal. In aharam, nidra, bhayam, maithuna. Maithuna means sex. All these are equal. Not now when this was written. Now it is more for human. All this. Okay. Jnanam naranam adhiko vishesho. Knowledge is extra to human being. Jnane bihina. If you don't have knowledge, Pashubhi samana, you are equal to an animal. So we have to be knowledgeable, and everyone who searches knowledge is a Vedanta. But that doesn't mean the end of knowledge. Don't interpret like that. The end of that, but start a new question. It's like a mountain. Once you climb a mountain, you know there are other mountains. There is no end for mountains, right? That's how the knowledge is. When you do MA, you think, or BA, you think I know philosophy. Then you do MA, you understand. What is MA? Master of Ajnana. Then you realize, oh, philosophy is still more, I don't know anything in philosophy. Then you go to PhD, what do you get? The degree? Permanent head damage. Perspiration, humiliation, degradation. You think that knowing more and more. What is PhD? Knowing more and more about less and less. So in mathematicians, we keep saying, you know infinite things about nothing. That is PhD. Yeah, he had a question.
One question.
Yeah. 3. Yeah.
So,
Again, sir.
so doctorate.
TPS. Teachers, parents, students. TPS. Thermal power station. Temperature per second. Top police service.
Okay, doctorate TPS.
Yeah.
So the question is regarding, you talked about Vivekananda's relationship, like how he perceived the relationship, right? So first of all, I want to know the story of 18 or 19-year-old Swami Vivekananda, the youth life of Swami Vivekananda. And if I wanted to be his friend at that time, because I'm 18 and 19, so if I wanted to be his friend, what qualities would I have to possess to be his friend, or what differences or similarities I needed to have to be in his peer circles? Because like you said, questioning is a thing that you do among the friends, and that's how you can get your bachelor's or advanced knowledge or something. So if I wanted to have a discussion with him, so what qualities would I need to possess to at least be with him in that time, in that age? in this?
Yeah, definitely we have no record whether Vivekananda had good friends or not. But we had a good record that he had a good professor. He asked a question to professor took him to Ramakrishna. And the question was very simple, like, have you seen God? Ramakrishna said, yes, I myself is the God. And that was true because he was doing Kali Puja. Kali's temple is the most famous temple in Calcutta. He was going with the garlands. Instead of offering there, he used to offer by himself and dance. He was in trance. Right? So, great thing. That's why I said Swami Vivekananda became great because he met somebody who realized a God. So, meeting somebody who realized a God is what the search for your path. Once you are there, then definitely everything comes to you. And that comes once you get into, that's what happens: physical, emotional, intellectual, social, spiritual. The highest is spiritual. When you are spiritual, though you have health problem, you are not diseased. Are you getting the difference? You may have a health problem, but you are not diseased. Easy. Disease is not in ease. I may have severe pain, but I am in ease. That ability you will have. And once you are spiritual, you don't have to read everything. Once you touch, you will get it. Relationship becomes, we don't interact with people just by looking at their style, right? A spiritual person can attract. They will have 6 qualities. So once you get into that mood of becoming that, the spirituality is inside you. Automatically what happens is your aura will increase and you will become a magnet. People will come to you. You don't have to hunt for people. Got it? So you become a magnet and others become iron powder. So that's what happened to Swami Vivekananda. So it is not trying to become a Vivekananda. What's your name?
Bharat.
You are Bharat. Then why do you want to become Vivekananda? Yeah. You should have the Bhava, Raga, Talam inside you.
Yeah, it kind of like, it sounds in my name like Bharat Bhushan, so Bharat Bhushan.
Wonderful. Very good. And we have Bharatavamsha. You know, he was Dasharatha. Dasharatha, why Dasharatha? He had 10 Rathams. So, a rich man had 10 cars today. He had 10 vehicles with him. So, be rich first. Rich in materialistic world, then rest will come to you. Otherwise, you will have problem. Swami Vivekananda had no problem because he had sponsors, right?
Last question. Okay.
Yeah, last she wants. She's got.
DrTPS, my question is that which one is superior, question or knowledge?
Question.
Question. So, sir, in this case, we can say that question arrives first.
Question arise first.
But sir, without knowledge, how we can arise question?
That will be low level.
Okay.
Everybody has question. Young childhood, what question? What's your name, beta?
Sir, Kanchan.
Kanchan, what questions you asked in the childhood? Do you know? Every child while scrolling will pick up something, will ask, what is this? What is this? Recently somebody asked, do thought require language? Was a question asked by one philosophy student from Delhi only. She's doing a master's here in some other college. I know her from when she was in 9th grade. Adra, yeah, she knows. So, Adra asked me a question, do thoughts require language? No. So don't think that now I need language even to ask questions. I can show this and ask something, what is it? Correct? You are seeing it, you will teach this is pen. Then I will ask what is pen. Keep on starting from there. So one question, don't end there. It keeps asking questions. That's why I said Vedanta is not the end of knowledge. Knowing this is pen is not enough. I must click it and then see whether it's writing. Experiment with this, right? And that, it is not what knowledge somebody gives, not from the gurus. Sakshat anubhava drushto na sruto na guru darshitaha lokanam upakaraya etat sarvam tadarshita. Not what is told by somebody else. Let me experience it. Let me know what is it. No, knowing is much higher than hearing and learning. I know. I know means you have analyzed it. You can speak about it to somebody else. That is knowledge. So don't get information. In textbooks you get data which somebody analyzes, comes to you as an information, not enough. Make it yours, that becomes knowledge. That is why Swami Vivekananda said, knowledge is man-made. Got it? So what you are asking is, knowledge is man-making. Where knowledge comes only when you are questioning. Every child is born to ask questions. They will keep asking a lot of questions. You can see all of them. Once you say, don't take it, keep it there, they will not keep it. They will take something else. What is this? Like every monkey does it, right? Somebody will answer. So you have questions, answer comes from somewhere else. 950 38875. But write my name there, DrTPS. Okay, otherwise Google DrTPS, you will see me there. Thank you so much. God bless you. A great day. We are in a great college, right? HansRaj College.
Thank you so much.